DreamWorks Animation outdoes Disney. In a bit of irony, the company that started their career by ripping off Pixar when they came out with A Bug's Life, DreamWorks made Ants, spelled with a Z at the end, starring Woody Allen in it, which is just creepy. They actually make a live action adaptation of one of their animated films, and it's better than any of the Disney films that have come out in the last like 10 to 15 years or whatever it's been. And is it great? No. Is it better than the original? No. As a matter of fact, it's kind of lazy because it takes the same exact script from How to Train Your Dragon and just remakes it. But for some reason, this movie works better than those Disney films. And the reason is, I think partially, one is because the director of this film, and I got his name here, Dean DeBlois, or DeBlouse, however you say it, I've already screwed it up. He co-directed the first film, and then he directed the sequels and the critically acclaimed How to Train Your Dragon trilogy. And he like the visual effects in it look better than most of the Disney films, and I think that's because the director of the movie has an animation background, and it kind of lends them to know more about how to handle visual effects. Because you would think these dragons would look pretty fake, because they're meant to look intimidating, but they're also meant to look cute. They kind of look like Pokemon a little bit in the original film, and to an extent, they look like that here in this movie. But they look believable. That like their skin isn't too colorful. It's kind of like colored out a little bit, kind of like the way they did it in Jurassic Park. And the things that do look a little fake in the movie is a lot of the sets and some of the like makeup and hair looks kind of phony. Like a lot of the Vikings' beards are just like way too clean. And the whole setting of Burke, like the mountains look great. You know, it kind of has these nice, beautiful looking sort of vista-like mountains that are green. They look very New Zealand / Scottish-ish. And I'm going to guess Burke is inspired by Scotland, but nobody in this movie, nor in the animated film, all had Scottish accents. You know, like, yeah, Craig Ferguson had a Scottish accent, and Gerard Butler had a Scottish accent. But, you know, Jay Baruchel, who played Hiccup in the original film, he just used his regular accents. And I have to say, Mason Thames, who plays Hiccup in this film, is way better than Jay Baruchel. Because I have to admit, Jay in that film sounded like he was bored a lot of times. And it didn't quite work. Like, it just sounded like he read his lines and then just went home. And he's like, okay, got my paycheck. I mean, maybe that's an unpopular opinion, but that's just how I felt. Gerard Butler is a great cast. He was great in the original, and he's great in this film because he has that tough Spartan voice. But at the same time, he's very gentle and loving to his son, and it's believable when he's talking to him. He doesn't just sound like he's like, oh, I have to be soft now, so I have to whisper. Like, he actually puts some more emotion into it than just, you know, whispering it like he's in the Matrix. Yeah, the design of the dinosaurs are great. Toothless, although his eyes are like a mixture between a puppy and a kitten, he looks cute, but he doesn't look too cartoony. And the story overall like works almost just as well in live action as it does in animated, but it still works better in animated because it's a bunch of people hunting magical dragons. But yeah, I would say the film did you know, it was 20 minutes longer, I think, than the original, but it doesn't feel like 20 minutes longer. And when it reaches the climax, like, it's actually like a fun standalone movie that, you know, if you didn't know anything about the animated film and you just saw this by yourself, you'd have a good time seeing it. And bouncing back on the point of the Vikings don't look accurate enough, I get it. This is a fantasy land. This is not supposed to look accurate, but it looks too much like they were walking on the set of Disney World or Universal Studios. Since this is DreamWorks, it would be Universal. But yeah, I mean, for a movie that's actually enjoyable and entertaining and not just, oh, it's good for a live action remake, but an actual, like, enjoyable film, it's a solid recommendation. But I will say, creatively, it's bankrupt because it's just taking the same exact script and just rehashing it in live action. And I get it, that's the aim of these movies. That's what they do. They don't want to mix things up too much, and I can understand why they don't want to do it. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. And it works. It works. It's not the best film, but it's actually a fun one to bring your family to, that the kids can enjoy. And yeah, it's way better than all the Disney crap that's being produced, which is ironic since, Team Shrek made it. But, DreamWorks has moved on since then. It has made better animated films. They've never quite reached Pixar's level. But this movie, in terms of versus Disney, yeah, Disney should take notes from this and actually learn how to not put their animators on a tight deadline. There's a certain term called pixel effing. You can guess what the effing's for. And that's when someone like from a Marvel film who's working on a movie, like the director will come in at the last minute, or someone from the studio and say, hey, could you change this thing at the last minute? And that's why the movie looks so fake, which could explain all of Ant-Man Quantumania. But yep, How to Train Your Dragon live action version. Yeah, it was a good movie. It was enjoyable, but just surface level fun. And I would, am I like really looking forward to seeing the next two films adapted into live action? Not really, but as long as Dean DeBlois or DeBlois or whatever, however the hell you say his last name is directing it, then I'm on board, and we'll see what happens.